These are the jet speeders. They were originally going to be in my first Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film once, as soon as I was going to do these kind of things that I was going to show off. And, you know, for those who saw the original versions and the original uploads of these videos, this is the remastered version, this time with me talking about what was going to be in the film and what was not, and what was going to end up going to be in the film, until I made some revisions to the final film, and as well as, well, when I was in its original production stages with it over 5 years ago. This was basically something that I did on Need for Speed not Underground, what was it? Need for Speed Most Wanted on PlayStation 2. And I know this was less than a few months before I got my PlayStation 3 Christmas of 2012. And at the time I was still playing PS2, looking back on some of the things I did on PlayStation 2. And yeah, guys, this has been a long time since I made this video. And the first time I made this video, and when I uploaded it, it was actually an hour and 24 minutes. I'll probably go on to add on a few things and then rebuttal, and when this was just a video I uploaded, you know, showing off something with just music in the background. The jet speeders were actually based off these Lamborghinis, and, you know, Lamborghinis, you know how it is in the Need for Speed games. Once you unlock, and, you know, once you did some certain races and stuff, missions in the story mode, you do unlock some new cars and stuff, and new add-ons, you know, tune-ups and performances and all these other things, and paints and ribbons and all that in the Need for Speed games. Yeah, so, but you see, I've played Need for Speed Most Wanted on PS2 long ago, guys. This was long before I was on YouTube, long before I did all this stuff. And, you know, for the longest time, I've still kept the same save data where I've, you know, kept the cars active on my memory cards for PS2 for years. But bringing this up now, over 5 years later since I originally made this video, now I gotta realize, I realized what I was trying to do back then based on whatever this one troll said about me doing Lamborghini cars, multicolored, color-coded as the, you know, cars that the Power Rangers would use for this fan film. Because back in late 2012, for those who followed my channel since the beginning, over 5 years ago, when whoever that anonymous troll was in the beginning that didn't like the whole jet speeders thing, instead of rather the Lost Galaxy Rangers ever famous jet jammers, which were, you know, we'll get to them in a moment. This troll didn't like in the comments why I went with the jet speeders instead of the jet jammers. Because knowing Lost Galaxy is a space opera, I had to go with something different, because my version of Lost Galaxy for fan films, and when I said I was doing a fan film reboot, I meant that, and I had to did some changes and some things that I wish would happen. But I realized the concept didn't fell through. But the jet speeder concept, you know, of course, you know, if you think about it with the Turbo Rangers, with their, what was it, the Turbo Carts, which they only used for like a few episodes during the first half of the series on the TV show. Yeah, that was kind of what I was going with. If, you know, basically the concept was, when I did the jet speeders thing, utilizing, if I were to use footage of Need for Speed Most Wanted on my PlayStation 2 with something, well, see, back then I wasn't experimenting with high definition video yet. I was still doing the usual crap looking quality of videos at the time. I was going to go with the this jet speeder concept, but then I realized I knew this was not going anywhere. So I guess it was best to drop this idea, and knowing to the fact that as for the jet jammers, and also with the Galaxy Rangers with Terra Venture and stuff, if this is a fan film reboot, people are going to ask, then how they're going to fly around the galaxy and there's no jet jammers in the fan film? And I told you guys many times about the issues why I didn't do the fan film the way I was supposed to, and based on, if this is a fan film of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, it has to act like the show, be like the show, and be faithful to the show and its roots. But when I said it was a reboot, it's supposed to be a reboot. But then that's when I knew this was going to turn people off. As for the jet jammers in the TV show, on the other hand, now look, as a kid, it was great seeing them on the screen. But now in retrospect, I just realized I think that for someone who liked both In Space and Lost Galaxy in terms of what things they had for the arsenal, I think the Space Rangers Galaxy Gliders were way better. Now, nothing against the jet jammers. If you're a fan of these things, more power to you. But it's just the Galaxy Gliders, you know, they were much cooler and sleeker. But yeah, the jet jammers are awesome because they have, grip handles where they can fly around and do all these, awesome streaks around the space, you know, or even when you know, if you think in the TV show whenever the Stingwingers would combat the Rangers in space with the jet jammers, they were actually it was actually pretty awesome. As a kid in the late 90s when Lost Galaxy came out, yes, it was awesome. In retrospect, now as an adult looking back on the jet jammers and with them using the jet jammers even in aerial combat in space, I'm like, eh. But really, yeah, the jet jammers, like many things about Power Rangers, they were mostly designed to sell toys. Of course, yeah, if it weren't for In Space, Lost Galaxy would have never happened, and that's why we got the jet jammers. In the fan films, on the other hand, I just didn't want to do jet jammers because maybe there's just something about me that I just didn't want to do in retrospect, copying everything I love about the show. And I guess it goes to show, if you're going to, go ahead and accuse me for being a completely dedicated Lost Galaxy fan if I don't have any pieces to the respective arsenal that is remotely missing, and if it's not really a Power Rangers Lost Galaxy film made by a fan. So basically, the jet speeders had to be removed based on just only one comment in the video back in 2012 for this. So that's why it's best to say, yeah, the jet speeders had to go. So therefore, yeah, this was going to be something in the fan film at first, but then I realized it was not a great idea.